This video is going to show you how to download and run the RaeComM software. So what we're going to be talking about is how to get it from the website. So I'm going to show you where it is on the website. We're going to unzip it and run the installation, and then we're going to connect to a MMU2 1600D monitor and get some logs. At this point, we want to go ahead and get the software. So here you would go to editraffic.com. I like to come here and go right to the search and just go RaeComM and go search. Once I do that, it gives me the RaeComM software website, and here tells you a little bit about the website. Here's extra documents if you want to get the setup, but here is the software. When you click on this, it should go ahead and download it to somewhere in your directory. What I like to do is not open file, but actually open and show where it is in my directory. In this case, it's in downloads. At this point, you need to have some kind of decompression or unzip file loaded on your computer. I'm going to go ahead and assume you have that. So at this point, you're going to go ahead and double click. And there's an executable here. You can either execute it from here or unzip it and put it in a known directory. I'm going to go ahead and run it from here. And it's going to ask you, do you want to run? You go ahead and say yes. You should get the screen that says here, we have a download. You're going to go say yes. You're going to go next. You're going to put it in a directory. In this case, we're going to go ahead and put it in that directory. Go next and start. Do you want to, which version do you want to run? At this point, I usually use 6 for Visual Basic because it's the newest, and then I go ahead and install. At this point, it's going to install it. We're going to go ahead and ignore it because mine already has it, so I'm going to reload, let it use the existing drivers that I already have on my machine. And you will be done. When this comes back, sometimes depending on how your configuration of your computer is, it will go ahead and launch it. We're going to have it here to say launch. In this case, I'm not going to launch it. I'm going to go ahead and say finish, because if it doesn't allow you to launch it, what you can do is go to your search command and type in RaeComM. Here, usually, as I said, if you can't find it as on your it isn't pinned down on your base or doesn't give you a shortcut key, easiest way to do it is just type in RaeComM. When you start typing, it'll have it here. I recommend that you right click, not left click, right click and pin, or pin to start or pin to taskbar. Either one, pin to taskbar would put it down here. So once you do that, you're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and run the software. So there it is. Double click. It's going to tell you that it's running. And at this point, you're going to have this. What's important is, if you notice, there is no address, there's no model, there's nothing. You need to make sure that you're going to have to plug in your device. So in this case, I'm using a COM port. So I'm going to come in here, and then usually the little shake hand here, that's going to bring up my COM. I do have it in port, our COM port 2. If you don't know what port you're in, the best way to do that is come up here, type in Device Manager, go ahead and click on this, and then look at the Device Manager, and it will give you where the port is. So if you click here, I have 3 ports. Since I have 3 ports, I'm not really sure where the monitor is connected. So what I'm going to do is unplug the monitor, and the port will disappear. And if you notice, it was port 2. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it back in. You're going to see that it says port 2. And then what you want to do is go to our software, the RaeComM software, and put in port 2, the baud rate, all that should be good, serial. And if you're going with IP address, you would click here and go that direction. But we're going to go ahead and do the serial connection. So once I click on that, I'm going to ID it. When I hit ID, here it goes ahead and lets me know that I'm talking to the monitor. In this case, it's an MMU2 1600 2D. Serial number, manufacturer date, firmware. A lot of times I'll ask when you have questions and you call me, I like to know what firmware you're looking at, so usually that's what we're looking at. The other thing is for configurations, you have your monitor configuration. You can set and read your time, and you can also get real-time monitor status. If you notice, these are not grayed out. That means that you can connect to them. So a lot of times what I like to do is grab my configuration and go right in there and see how it's configured. You notice the factory settings here are grayed out. You can't do those, but if you need this, you can always contact us and we can give you a secret password so you can activate, but all of this is usually done in the factory. The other thing that's important is your logs here. There's your AC log. A lot of times I tell people the ones I like to get are configuration logs. And this is a configuration. If you notice, I have canned settings. So if you notice, the program card's changing because I use different program cards. And this is a different configuration, so you can click and activate it by pushing it here, and that will get it from the monitor. But if you want to send it to the monitor, you can send it from here too. Come up here and go logs. You can clear your logs and you can grab all the logs. So here you can get communication logs, tells you what's going on, export data, and you can export it to whatever file you want. When it exports, it is exported as an RTF. So if you want to export previous faults, you'd come up here and just you can hit print. Here's to do all logs. You can hit it and go print. And what this does is it creates a PDF that you can actually send to us, and this gives you the faults too. If you have any questions, our email is support@editraffic.com, and our phone number for the hotline is 602-396-1284. Thank you.